driving through the mountains today, heading over to North Carolina. Go pick up a new chainsaw. Snow's looking pretty. We have snow on the ground at the house as well, but it was dark before I left. And we've got snow in the forecast for tomorrow afternoon. 5 to 7 inches of snow. So this area gets it. We got this yesterday. Almost all of it melted during the day. It was 16 degrees first thing in the morning, but then it warmed up to 50. And that'll get rid of snow pretty quick. The road is empty as always. 7 a.m., 7:30, something like that. Nobody heading where I'm going. Nice big highway all on my own. It's a long way to go get a chainsaw, but I've looked and there is just nothing available. Nothing in stock at any of the dealers. Nothing for sale on Craigslist. There's a few on eBay, but I do not trust paying for something and having it shipped and then finding out it doesn't run. So this guy, brand new MS660, same saw that I had before, but a slightly older version with no chip in the carburetor, so it'll be a slightly less power, slightly more old-fashioned, but it should last, so it's worth the money. So welcome to Madison County, so we're just over the top. Down into North Carolina. When you look at the mountains from our house, it looks like there's just one or two ridges, but the mountains are probably 50 miles deep. It's a good dozen or so ridges. And it's all national forest. Could walk from our house up into the hills. Heck, I bet you could live your life out in that forest and no one would ever know you're there. So I don't know which of those peaks is Mitchell, but it's a pretty view. Sun's still just coming up. It's 7:45. I'm about 25 minutes from Asheville, so I'm hoping to get through Asheville just after the 8 a.m. traffic and before the 9 a.m. traffic. Not that we have a lot of traffic right here. It's amazing, isn't it? Such a huge interstate, nobody on it, and such beautiful scenery. There's a place down here, I think it's just called Fort, but it's the location of an old fort. It has a peculiar short name. If I can catch it, it's right at the side of the highway in a field. It's been rebuilt and looks a little modern. I suppose it's as modern as it was when it was first built, but it's one of the old defensive buildings for this area. Not sure that a lot of people went into it in times of Indian uprising, otherwise referred to as guerrilla warfare against the stole the land. But it's a small building. If I can find it, I will video. Well, there it is. Fortunately, it's winter time, so there's no leaves on the trees. So that was it. Blink and you miss it. Maybe I'll catch it on the way back. But when you think of the days gone by when we settled this area, settling, of course, is a term that's a little biased. Settling it from its unruly nature of the past. Yeah, right. We came in and slaughtered everybody who stole the land. And then we bitched and complained when they fought back. Built forts, hid in them. And it's hard to feel sorry for the conquerors. If it happened to us, I don't know who it would be, but if somebody decided to conquer where we live, and they built forts and they hid in them, we would take a great deal of pleasure burning them out. But that's political history, I suppose. Well, just what I needed to reinvigorate me was an honest guy selling a brand new chainsaw. I don't know how many times I've driven too far to go fetch something, and then you get there and it's not as advertised, right? And then you're tempted to buy it anyway because it's been so far that you've gone, and you tell yourself, never ever ever again am I going to drive ridiculous distances for things that are sold on Craigslist and eBay and stuff. Well, today I drove for 3 hours through the snow, through the mountains, down the other side, and the saw was exactly as the guy said, absolutely brand new. Started up, first pull, runs beautifully. It's exactly the saw that I need. $800 for a 660. Yay, I can actually see the mountains. Funny, I haven't been in the sunshine for long. It's 45 degrees here, but it feels like snow on the mountains is a thing of the past. But I'll be in the foothills in half an hour, up on the top in an hour and a half maybe, something like that. Well, it's looking a little bit better. Better is perspective. Mountains are getting bigger, the blue sky day is continuing, and I'm coming up to that fort again, so maybe I can catch it on this side of the road and be closer. Well, it's not Idaho and it's not Montana, but it's what I think of as home. Pretty damn good. Every time I drive this road, I'm impressed. Now, my wet drive through Wales was, in my view, just a little bit better. But here's my snowy ride through Tennessee. I am now, of course, going uphill, so my 19.2 miles a gallon has now shrunk to 18.5. I'll probably make it to the top by 18 or so and head on down the other side. I am intent on averaging 20 by the time I get home, because I think I should. Just coming out of the other side of Asheville, and that's the first view of our mountain that we get. It's still quite a ways away, you know, it's 20 miles, but 45 minutes from home, just coming over the top of the pass. I think the road height is probably 4,500 feet or something like that. There should be a sign at the top. I don't think I've ever paid attention to it, but it's a long climb. I'd say virtually for 1 hour it's been almost nothing but uphill, and then of course for an hour it's nothing but downhill. I'm over the top, and I was wrong. It was not 4,500 feet. It's only 3,800. 3,765, I think, was the road height. So the mountain top height is probably, I'd say, 500 feet. But we're in Tennessee now, and for any fan of the movie Cold Mountain, then Cold Mountain is over in that direction. I'm not sure which one it is, and I'm sure the movie is perhaps not filmed exactly at the correct place, maybe. But it's one of those, and it's close to where we live. We are 45 minutes from home, and Cold Mountain is probably 15 minutes or so from here. Gotta remember to turn the radio off when I start shooting video. Copyright infringement and all that. It's easy to forget when you've got music in the background. But that is somebody's music, and they charge you to listen to it. So you certainly can't be recording it and playing it and have other people listen for free. So what I end up having to do is, if I forget, I have to edit out the sections that have music in the background. It's pretty country around here. It's a little... So we're north of Irwin. Nolichucky runs this side of that mountain range, or at least I'm pretty sure it does. I mentioned Cold Mountain, it's over there to the left. I can imagine it's called Cold Mountain because perhaps it's cold, which is a relative term. It's a nice lookout. I've stopped there a couple of times, but you really could walk anywhere you wanted in any direction from here, and you would not come across a sign of life anywhere. It's mostly Cherokee National Park. Mount Mitchell National Park is behind us now. And certainly all of that mountain ahead of us is Cherokee. As you can tell, I'm off the highway, finally. Picked up our, what you might call a more local road. This is the river that flows through our property. It's wider here than down near us, which is peculiar because it's shallow near us as well. So it's not like it's deeper and narrower. That is strange. It's there are no branches in the river where we lose volume. This is about, as the crow flies, 20 miles upstream. So we're out of the mountains and we're back on the rural roads. I'm just heading down 107, maybe 3-4 miles from the house. So this is the west side of the mountains, where I started, of course, this morning. But it was dark. So that's the opposite side of the hills that we look at. Oh, finally home. End of the trip. Here's the view from the driveway. There's the log house we're working on at the bottom. Sally's house, the white one. Beautiful view just over there. Last bit of the highway before I hit the house. And that's the end of a fairly long trip this morning. Well, it's wrong to end the video without showing the reason for the trip, right? So here is my old 661C commercial 661 with the chip. Cost me $1,400. I don't know, 10 years ago. Ran great, melted down, put a new head on it, melted it down again, put another new head on it. In total cost me $800 in parts, and it failed again. So time to call it quits. And then the reason for the trip is this beautiful guy. Exactly the same saw, effectively, but without the chip, without the computer chip. It's one iteration older, albeit it's brand spanking new. It cost me $800. So real happy with that. So I think what I'll do now is rebuild my old one. Put a big bore kit on it, I think. Saws sit differently as well. But anyway, that's the reason for the road trip. And I'm happy with it.